welcome back to my YouTube channel. So happy to have you here. I hope you're drinking something warm and cozy, or cold and cozy, whatever is your choice. I am going to go through 10 things that I wish I knew before becoming a mother, and hopefully that's helpful for you, whether you are family planning and you're not even pregnant yet, but you're thinking you want to be a parent down the line, or you're currently pregnant and you don't know what to expect, or you're in those early months of motherhood, or you're at the exact same stage as me and you just want to hear from another mom on things that she's learned along the way. I like to think of us all as mothers, or soon to be mothers, or future mothers. I think of us all as like walking this parallel line, and we may be at different points along the line, but we can really learn from each other. So I'll get right into it. And I always like to mention that with my list style videos, I don't do a lot of pre-planning. I jot down things as I go. I decided I wanted to do this video months ago, and I just started writing down things that I wish I knew and kind of creating this rough draft of a list. And I organized it into 10 things to make it concise, but my thoughts are kind of just going to come out here on video. I don't ever want to sound scripted, and it's just not organized. So there's no rhyme or reason to the list, but it is my list and I want to share it. So starting with number 1, this is a big one, and I wish that I knew how guilty I was going to feel about not understanding what other mothers before me had gone through, especially my own mother and even my best friend that had a baby a year before me. I wish that I had just known. And you truly don't know until you become a parent. Like, you just don't know, and it's okay if you're not a parent or if that's not your choice. It's just the truth is that there's something that you learn when you become a parent, and especially a mother, that makes you just appreciate mothers to a whole new extent. And I can't tell you how much I just wanted to hug every mother in my life and just be like, how did you do it? It is so hard, but then you realize how they did it because it's also so wonderful. And that's something that I definitely wish that I could have somehow known before going through motherhood myself, because you almost feel like you weren't there for other mothers in your life. Like, they probably needed you and you weren't able to offer them the same kind of words of encouragement that they need or support because you hadn't gone through it. And even now, still, with being a mom and being busy, there are mothers in my life that I wish I could do more for because they just deserve it. But you're kind of walking through your own stage of motherhood, so there's only so much that you can give. We're all just trying to get through the day and enjoy it, and it's something that I definitely had no awareness of before becoming a mom, and now it's like an overwhelming sense of guilt sometimes. I try not to focus on that too much because I'm also a mom trying to get by, and you got to give yourself grace, but that's first on the list. Next is, I wish that I knew beforehand that no amount of judgment you may receive from anyone on your mothering choices or techniques will ever make you second guess your own mother's intuition to make the best choices for your child and your family. This was something that I really worried about when I was pregnant. I am someone that cares way too much what other people think sometimes. I'm like a people pleaser on certain things. Like, I don't have an innate confidence in myself in a lot. I kind of shield myself with humor sometimes and whatever. And I worried about that as a mom because I see so many other women that are mothers that have this like mama bear instinct in them, and they just know my way is the best way for my kids, and that's that. And I really worried that I would not experience that. That's not the case. I have never once, not one time, thought that a decision I made for my child wasn't the best decision. And I have always stood firm in that. And again, as someone who wasn't always sure of my decisions before becoming a mom and whatever, I just want to tell you that mother's intuition is just so real, and you will have it. You will know what to do for your child, and you will know that you're the best one for the job. I cannot say that enough. Like, you will know and you will feel it. You'll just learn your child, and you'll learn that you are all that they need. And the second part of this was just like that fear of judgment from other people. And you're going to get judged. You're going to have people in your life question you, even people that you love, family, friends, but it won't matter. Like, it literally, you just brush it off. the judgment, the second guessing, whatever it is, like you will not care. I can promise you that. You are the best mother for that child. And I personally just wish that I really, believed that for myself before becoming a mom, but let me just be the one to tell you that you will never ever second guess your mother's intuition. Okay, I'm like chugging this coffee right now. Next one is a little dark, sorry, but there are dark days of motherhood, and that is definitely a reality. I wish that I had known how many breaking points I was going to hit in the first year, but I also wish that I knew how much stronger I was going to be through each one, and that I would come out on the other side of that every time, a better mother and stronger for it. As much as I hit breaking points, I never broke. As a mom, you bend a ton, but you don't break, because even when you're at your lowest of lows, you're still a mother and you're still responsible for this human being, or beings in my case, that you love more than anything, and that will always override whatever you're going through. I think it's okay to give yourself grace to experience all of that in your first year. And I know for me, I can pinpoint so many breaking points. And when I talk to all of you that comment on my videos and that let me know, hey, I'm at month 6 right now, I always get excited for you, because I know that, say you're at the 4-month sleep regression or whatever it is, I'm brought back to how hard that was. And then I just remember that first night's sleep afterwards and feeling so good again, and feeling like, you conquered a new stage. And I remember, when we went through the sleep training process around 7 months, when a lot of you say you're going through that, I remember that was probably my worst breaking point. And then overcoming it and knowing that I made the best decision for my kids and my family. And I'm babbling a little bit, but I just hope that you know that you are going to hit probably the lowest lows of your life, just because this all means so much. That's what I tell myself. It's okay, and you're going to be a stronger person for it, a stronger parent, a stronger partner, daughter, friend, sister. Your relationships with people are going to deepen, and I'll probably get to this soon, but you're also going to lose relationships with some people, but the relationships that maintain through motherhood are going to be those that really matter, and that might come with the growing pains of hitting different breaking points. Okay, so there's a lot of foreshadowing going on, even with this next one. So I wish I knew more information on things that I felt so strongly about before being a parent. And like I just briefly touched on, this taboo concept and word and whatever that is sleep training. And I can tell you right now, I remember being pregnant and talking with a lot of different people about sleep training. And this is just one example. There are a lot of things that I personally wish that I just did more research on before being a parent, or just shut up about and had no right to have any judgment before being a mother. I digress. Sleep training, I just remember saying, oh, I'll never do that. God, no, you must be a horrible parent to do something like that. And I just did no research on it. I knew nothing. It almost made it harder for me to make decisions as a mother sometimes, because I could feel my old self judging me, if that made sense. And I got to a point where I was like, okay, that old self was uneducated, and I just wish that I didn't have such strong opinions and judgments on certain things before being a mother. It's not just sleep training, right? It's different ways to introduce foods to your children. It's different ways to promote healthy boundaries with your children, about pushing their own limits when it comes to playing and allowing them to do certain things. Like there's a lot of judgment out there. So yeah, until you sit exactly where a mother sits, being in her shoes with her children and her family dynamic, which, fun fact, you can never do that for another mother. You can only do it for yourself. Reserve the judgment. There's no need. There's just no need. And it's something that I didn't know until I was a mom, but everyone is truly just trying to survive and trying to enjoy the ride and trying to do what's best for their family. Moving this a little closer so that I can lean back on my bed. Okay, this next one might sound cliche, I suppose. I wish that I knew the feeling of existing in a postpartum body my whole life. For me personally, and maybe it is because of the way my pregnancy went and how scared I was my whole pregnancy that I was going to lose my daughters at any single day, because I was told that that was a real chance with having a high-risk pregnancy. So I just thanked my body every single day of my pregnancy for keeping them safe, and I have such a new respect for my body. And even if you did not have a high-risk pregnancy, you were home to your child for 9 months. Your body did that shit, okay? It just blows my mind. And what's crazy is that it's not even just my own body that I have a new like respect for or appreciation for, right? I'm gonna be honest, I think we all notice other people's bodies, right? My whole life I noticed women's weight. I just did. I'm a human being. I don't know if like something just like the chemicals in my brain change. Like when I look at someone, especially women now, it doesn't even register. Like I just see a bunch of badass bodies that are capable of like creating life and hosting it and birthing it. And I'm not trying to sound like a total hippie right now. I wish that I had this mindset my whole life, and especially before becoming a mother. So it is worthy of my list, and I hope that I can channel some of that energy to you if you have some sort of like obsession with weight, or you hone in on problem areas in your body and whatever. Like, your body is so badass, and even if you can't have children for whatever reason, or you don't, or whatever, being a woman is just the most incredible thing in the world, and all we should do is like honor and worship our bodies and still want to like make them better. If you're working hard at a goal of losing weight or getting more fit, whatever, that's still awesome. I'm babbling again, I'm sorry, but I just wish that I had this mindset before becoming a mom. And second layer to that, being a mother of girls, I think it's probably the same if you're a mother of boys and you want to raise your boys to respect a woman's body. Specifically having girls, I am making it a very clear expectation that for me, for the women in my life, we're not honing in on our bodies around my children. We're not talking about it. We're not talking about weight. We're not talking about food in any ways that aren't healthy. We're just existing, appreciating ourselves and our bodies. Okay, on to the next. Another one that might sound cliche, but hear me out. I wish that I knew how important self-care was. And okay, in a culture and society where we are so obsessed with self-care, get the new body lotion that makes you feel silky smooth and buy this new skincare because self-care is important. Okay, yes, I agree with a lot of that. But I can't tell you how many people would say to me when I was pregnant, oh, like, get your sleep now, get your showers now. You're not going to be doing that. Like, drink your hot coffee now. You're not going to have that in so long. And all these things that are said to you as a pregnant human or someone that is expecting a child. And this is just one example that's like coming to me. But self-care is so important. And for me, I remember taking my first postpartum shower and how good it felt. And I said to myself, and I said to my husband, I need a shower every single day. And I have twins and I was breastfeeding, okay? Like, I knew how potentially unrealistic that would sound to so many people, but I wanted a warm shower every day. And I also love my cup of coffee, and maybe it won't be right in the morning, but I set that expectation with myself, with my husband, that like these little self-care things are important to me. And sure, I could just not engage in those things and just put everyone else ahead of me and listen to everybody that had told me, you're never going to shower, you're never going to drink coffee, because as a mom, that's what we're expected to do, to just put ourselves on the back burner. But getting that shower every day and that 5 minutes to just have to myself, peace and quiet, sipping some warm coffee to just reset at some point in the day. In those early months, weeks, whatever it is for you, you can find yourself slipping into nothingness outside of just meeting the needs of your children. And I just encourage you to put yourself first. And I know that's not the advice we're given as mothers, but if you are at your best, your whole family's going to be at their best. And you can prioritize those things. And you can give yourself self-care moments from day one. You set expectations with your partner, champion yourself, and really, really set the expectation down that you deserve a few minutes a day for yourself and to engage in that self-care. I think we also see so many of our mothers, mother-in-laws, grandmothers, all these people that historically were homemakers, and everyone else around them are being cared for and they are fully on the back burner. It makes me so sad because I have women in my life that I watch do that, and I know it makes them happy, but I don't think that's how life should be lived, especially as women. I think we should be enjoying the ride too, and we are givers naturally, but it's okay to receive as you give out, because again, with being a mother of girls, I am always putting them in my shoes, because eventually they're going to be 30-year-old women and possibly mothers if that's their choice. And I don't want them, this like gets me emotional, I don't want them to go through pregnancy, have a newborn, and let that be the beginning of a lifetime of putting themselves second, because I don't want that for my children. I don't want them to think that's how life works, because self-care, especially as a mother, is so important. So I wish that I really gave myself that grace. Yeah, I wrote, I think I went into motherhood feeling like I should absolutely not prioritize myself and just make sure I dedicate 24 hours a day to my children because that will make me a good mom in society's eyes. But something that shifted for me was a few weeks or months into motherhood, I envisioned my daughters when they become mothers and when they experience what I am experiencing. And I felt so sad because I would want them to enjoy this season of life and take a warm shower before another long day and prioritize a cozy cup of coffee, so it changed my perspective entirely. I think so many generations before us taught us that mothers take a back seat, but what if we get to jump up front and enjoy the ride too? And then lastly, I wrote, I think this is how we don't build resentment for our partners and we ask them to allow us the time to take care of ourselves in those early days of motherhood. So I'll end that one there. I knew I was gonna cry in this because I cry all the time, but so the next one, this is a doozy. This one, you know, I'm realizing more and more with every new day. And it is that I wish I knew how different my relationships were going to be after becoming a mother. And as I mentioned, I think that my relationship with my own mother is the strongest it's ever been because I have just this completely new appreciation for her, and especially, you know, for so many women before me that did not have the resources we have now. And sometimes the information we have as moms today is a little overwhelming. I wish I had a little less. Ignorance is bliss on some things, but a lot of it is super helpful. And the guidance that we have as moms now, our parents did not have. So my own mother, my mother-in-law, who has gone through more than any mother should ever have to go through, I think it has deepened my connection with both of those people specifically. And then with friendships and people in my life, I mean, you are going to realize the value of your time. And I mean, simply put, you have to get caregivers when you want to do things and take time for your friends, or you need to bring your children out with you, so you need to have friends that you feel comfortable being around the chaos that is your dynamic with your children. And you just realize what is important in life, and friendships are one of the, if not the most important part of your life, because even if you have a partner, that should be some sort of friendship, right? Like friendship in general is what keeps us going as humans. I really believe that. I think since being a mom, I'm trying to really foster relationships that are being nurtured on both ends, if that makes sense. You kind of realize, you know, if you're putting too much energy in someone or a friendship that is just, it's not being reciprocated, for example, and I used to have a really hard time with that before becoming a mom, but I'm learning, motherhood has taught me, and it's something that I wish I knew beforehand, that your time is valuable. Even if you're not a parent, your time is valuable. Stop investing any of your energy and time in things that no longer serve you. And I wish that I knew that before becoming a parent, because it would have saved a lot of time and energy. Again, though, I'm people pleasers anonymous over here, so I never like to ruffle feathers, but you just realize that it's okay to grow apart from people, and that can be a beautiful thing for both of you. And lastly, your relationship with your partner. This is something that I think people really hone in on negatively, and they say, you know, have your fun now with your partner once you're a parent. It's all downhill from there, and I just could not disagree with that more. I mean, your alone time is a little less at first, and you are going to bicker with them probably more than you ever did before. I just personally believe that bickering can be a love language, so that's neither here nor there. Your relationship changes, but it is for the best. I really believe that, and I wish that I knew that before becoming a parent, because I was so scared that Jonathan and I were going to hate each other, and that our children were going to be the only thing that we could connect on. And you know, you hear so much, but it's just not the case. Seeing your partner be a father or be a mother is one of the sexiest things in the world. It's one of the most beautiful. You can't understand it until you see it. I mean, you have this human or humans that is yours, and whether it's yours by blood, if you adopt, like whatever it is, it doesn't change the fact that this human is relying 100% on you and your partner, and that's such a beautiful bond. It's so special, and you will still love your partner, and you will love them more every day. So yeah, relationships change. Okay, a few more here. Do I still have you? Are you with me? Do we need a coffee break? Next one I feel like I alluded to already, but sorry. I wish that I knew how good I would be at this. And I really feel like I touched on this in another one. Let me just remind you that you're gonna be such an awesome parent, whether you're a mom, dad, whatever. You're gonna be so good at it, and good is subjective, right? Like your good might not be someone else's good. someone else's good might not be your good. So don't compare or overanalyze yourself before sitting in the shoes of a parent. I literally wrote on this example, before being a parent, I had never been alone with a baby. I was arguably the least qualified gal for the job, and I thought about that a lot while I was pregnant. But I know now that I am the best mother for Sienna and Ren, so be confident and know that you got this. So I'll leave it at that. I feel like I've already gone down this road in this video, but just, if all this is a reminder for you that you're gonna be an awesome mom, dad, whatever, let this be that reminder. Oh, this is good. This is good. This is some tea. So after what I just mentioned, right, that brings me to my next point. And that is around the notion that you are going to have your child and you are going to feel this bond to them that is unbreakable, that is overwhelming. Your body is going to just morph into one with this baby, and you're going to just be on a cloud that you never want to come down from. That might happen for you. That really might happen for you. And if it does, like, chef's kiss, that's beautiful. But please don't set that expectation for yourself, because speaking from experience, that was not the case for me. And again, might be because of the type of pregnancy I had, the fact that my babies were immediately rushed to the NICU, like, story for another day, or you can watch previous videos. I have talked with a lot of moms that felt so guilty because they did not have that immediate bond experience. And I mean, for me, it took a few weeks. Everyone's experience is so different, but I am naturally a pretty anxious person, and I've learned through a little bit of therapy, my anxieties really clouded my ability to appreciate my early days of motherhood, because I just was so worried. I was so scared that something was going to happen to them, that they were not going to make it to the next day, that they were, not eating enough, that they, like, all these things that totally clouded my ability to just feel that overwhelming love for them right away. And I'm not even sure that I've ever said that on this channel, but that was my truth. And again, I've worked through that. I've forgiven myself for allowing those anxieties to cloud that for me, but that doesn't change anything, right? Like, that doesn't make me love them less. That doesn't mean that I don't love those little girls more than anything in the world. But I just wish that I knew before becoming a mom that I wasn't going to feel that gushy, mushy feeling right when they were here. And so I, again, just want to be the one to share with you that it is okay if you don't experience that. It will come, and it comes in time. It comes as you get to know them. It comes as you start to need each other more, right? When you start to just, like, feel that connection, and for some people it's not instant. So that is something that I wish I knew before welcoming my daughters into the world. All right, last up, we made it. I wish that I knew that I would be able to do the things I love again, and that eventually I would be able to invite my children into the things I love again. I also can still do things not with my children, which is wonderful to have that time for yourself. But you now get to share things you love with your kids, and you can enjoy the things that you enjoy all over again and in new ways. And you go through it when you're pregnant and when you're, in the early stages of motherhood. We all experience the tunnel, and we hope there's a light at the end, but there's a part of you that doesn't really believe that you're going to get to that light. You really don't think you're ever going to be happy like you were before. And I know that sounds horrible because you're so happy with your baby, but it's just this longing for parts of your old life and parts of things that you enjoyed. And again, there's no shame in that. It's okay. I look back on that version of myself and I wish I could just say, like, you're gonna be so happy again and it's gonna be even better. And I promise that you're gonna do things you love again. You're gonna have date nights again. You're gonna go out with your friends again. If that's what you wanna do, right? I'm speaking from my experience and things that I love. You're gonna go dancing again. You're gonna laugh again, and not in a delirious 3 a.m. overtired way. There's so much to still look forward to. And you always hear that phrase that you're not the old version of yourself, you're a better version. And that is true, but the things that you loved to do before, you can still love to do them, and you can still make that happen for yourself. Like, you can still find that old version of you, and she comes back. You'll do things that you love again, I promise. So I'll leave you with that, and I'm sending you so much love wherever you're at on this parallel line we're all walking. I'm with you, and I'm sending so much love. So thank you for being here. Please subscribe. I would love to have you stick around. I post vlogs weekly. I'm trying to post even more now that I've had some life changes that I've shared. You can watch those videos, but I am just so happy that you're here, and I'll see you in my next video.